Yazarel, what it do? What it do, family? What it do? Brother Judah Israel. I got a few words I want to say to y'all. You know what I'm saying? For one, about, that thing with Donald Trump trying to give all his cronies some reparations for taking part in the January 6th takeover of the Capitol building. Okay? Now, and then I also want to say something about the Asian guy getting off for killing that 14-year-old boy down in South Carolina. And I'll start off with the Trump deal first. Now, I hope y'all know what that's about. Now, he's trying to give them $1.8 billion, to all those people who took part in the insurrection and takeover of the Capitol building where 5 officers were murdered. Many people were beat and stuff like that. And then when he became president again, he pardoned everybody. Okay? Now, as far as like him, trying to get taxpayer dollars, the $1.8 billion to give to those people, I hope y'all know what that means. See, he always talking to them in code. Those thugs that he got, rednecks all across the country, in those hick towns, sundown towns, you know what I'm saying? Like during his first presidency, when there was an incident, I believe that was Virginia somewhere. Anyway, and he said something nationally on TV pertaining to that incident, where it was like some friction going on with some citizens and stuff, and one side was this and one side was against, these, basically, racist people. But anyway, he said something like, stand down, but stand by. You know what I'm saying? So he talks to these people in code, and they know exactly what he's saying. President Trump ain't nothing but a thug in a suit. That's all he is. Thug politician that wears a suit. The seats, the political seats are just a front for criminal activity. From the president on down to the mayors, the governors, those county seats, that's all they are fronts for those political seats are just fronts for criminal activity. That's all they are, And so anyway, about this $1.8 billion he's trying to get to them, he's sending them a message, because he ain't planning on, during the next election, if he loses, he's not planning on leaving the White House. So he's trying to let them know, okay, y'all remember this. I'm trying to get y'all this $1.8 billion. So when what happened on January 6th back in 2020, you know what I'm saying? If that happened again, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know I got y'all paid, so y'all gonna have to stand by me. Y'all gonna have to stand by me. And this time, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna have to go all the way with me. That's the message he's sending to them. He's trying to get them paid now for what they did during the last time he lost. You know what I'm saying? That's sending them a message. Okay, if we stand by him, and no matter if he loses in the next election, if we stand by him, he gonna pay us if we win. That's what he's telling them. You know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of Democrats and some Republicans are against that. That's taxpayers' money. You know what I'm saying? And he had no business taking it upon himself just because, Bibi had a beef with Iran, to bomb Iran. Congress didn't approve of him to do that. He just did that on his own. So he started a war with this country. It's a kind of like a fake war. You know what I'm saying? They shoot bombs and then they on chill mode and shoot bombs. I mean, what kind of war is that? You know what I'm saying? But he had no authority to do that. He just went over Congress, you know what I'm saying? But they let him do this stuff. But see, he know he's a crook, and he know that they ain't crap. He know this. You know what I'm saying? So he's just bold with the stuff that he does. President Trump, he's just more bolder than anybody else in those political seats. But they are just like him. That's why he can do what he wants to do, because he know all of them have dirt on them. They all have dirt on them, the Democrats and the Republicans. But Trump just real bold with his. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it in their face because he's saying to them, other politicians, the governors, the Congress people and stuff like that, he's saying to them with the things that he does, you know, you guys don't have crap to say to me about what I'm doing because you just do your stuff undercover. That's what he's saying to them. And they know he's right. He's just a more bold of one of them, who they are. They all the same. They all the same. That's why he can get away with so much. They all got dirt on them. And he knows this. You know what I'm saying? They talking about this, that scandal about the guy who committed suicide in prison, Jeffrey Epstein or something. I mean, what they trying to dig up on Trump? Before he became president, he was found guilty of 34 felonies and he didn't do a day then. So what they trying to dig up more dirt on him for? It ain't gonna mean nothing. That's just all for show. Fake raging, you know, for the public. That's all it is. They ain't gonna do nothing to him, and he knows it. He knows it. You know what I'm saying? But so as far as him trying to give those rioters, insurrectionists, $1.8 billion, y'all, it's sending a message to them. Okay, remember this. I tried my best to get y'all paid. And in case this happened again, y'all got to stand with me all the way. You can't quit and punk out on me like Vice President Mike Pence did. That's the message he's sending to all those rioters and insurrectionists that took over the Capitol on January 6th. What was that? 2020, I believe. You know what I'm saying? That's the message he's sending them. You know what I'm saying? But that's the code, and that's the message he's sending to his people. You know what I'm saying? And then other politicians, they probably know it, but just won't say it. You know what I'm saying? The ones who are against it, they're saying to him, without saying it, you know, come on now, you're being too bold now. You know what I'm saying? But they know he know he got dirt on them too. All of them. All of them. But they just don't talk about these things to the public. Family, you know what I'm saying? But they all just like him. He's just a more bolder politician than the rest of those people are that's in Congress and the governors and the mayors, and you know what I'm saying? It's just a game. That's why they so, you know, hyped up to try to get elected. They trying to get in the good old boys club. Democrats and the Republicans. That's all they trying to do, is get in the good old boys club. When you get in, you made it. You can commit criminal activity in that seat and get away with it. And get away with it. I mean, how many, you know, look what Nixon did back in the 70s. Did he do time in jail or prison? Nope. He had to resign. See, they know they can do what they want to do, and the most what happened to them is they have to resign. But they can get away with stealing millions of dollars. Trump trying to go for billions, but they all guilty of stealing millions. All those politicians are rich, not because of their salaries, because they steal money. And Trump knows this. He's just going for a bigger fish. 1.8 billion, that's all it is, y'all. They playing games right in front of our face. That's all they do, politicians. That's all they do. They don't give a crap about the citizens in this country. So when the time comes for election, they want your vote. But that's it, just to keep their seat for political, you know, that political seat for, you know, criminal activity. That's the only thing they need us for. Even like the Democrats, they got this thing like when they get time for, you know, run for office again, they go all flock in black churches. You know, try to act like they're on your side. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of our people getting hip to that crap. I stopped voting a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care if he, you know, give them the money or not. I'm just saying, I know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? I could care less who wins and who gets the seat. I don't even concern myself with that kind of stuff no more, since I'm following the way. I don't care who wins, who make the presidency. You know what I'm saying? I could care less. Who's the governor of Minnesota, the mayor of the city I live in? I don't care. I don't vote no more. I'm tired of playing their games. And as far as that Asian guy getting off scot-free for killing that young brother, 14 years old, down in South Carolina, you know, I was watching Sister Lisa Brewer's video last night, and she spoke on that. You know, and she said something very profound in that video about that. She said it's not the Asian, like people boycotting the Asian businesses and stuff because of, you know, they seem to hate us, but they like our money though. And she said something very profound that got my attention really, really good. And she said, it's not just them, it's the system. That's exactly what it is. See, these foreign people, they do stuff like that against our people, the so-called Negroes, God's chosen people. They do things like this against us to appeal to Whitey, to appeal to Esau in this system. You know what I'm saying? I was watching some of the people who was commenting on the video she shared last night, and some people was making some very interesting points. A couple of the sisters, you know what I'm saying? Like she was saying about one sister, girl, you just going too far out there, and she was right about that. One sister was trying to like make it a competition between the black people and the Asian people. It ain't that deep. No, just boycott their businesses. You know what I'm saying? And then that last brother, he was saying some very interesting stuff, but he didn't seem to get it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, y'all got a problem with our people wilding out in the streets. And he was like, I don't like that stuff either. You know what I'm saying? But when we try to come together on social media and try to straighten our people out from, acting, ignorant and stuff like that, and we trying to come together as a people, and then y'all still making comments in the, y'all got a problem with it. And he was like, he didn't understand why come they have a problem with our people when we trying to come together and do better for ourselves. That's the main thing they don't want. And he also said, I was watching another video last night, y'all, and there's another brother, he was talking about the Asian guy getting off scot-free from killing the 14-year-old boy. Cyrus Cermak, Benton. Cyrus Cermak Benton is his name. And so this other video was, this brother was saying some stuff. He was saying some interesting stuff. He was like, it ain't got nothing to do with no religion. It ain't got nothing to do with race. See, family, the last two brothers I'm, just mentioning that I saw on videos saying these things is because they are still asleep. They bring up good points, but they don't understand why people from these other groups treat us the way that they do. See, as long as you blind to who you are who we are as a people, you will never get this. You don't understand why come they don't like it when we try to come together to better ourselves. You got some of our people have a serious problem with the other groups. You know what I'm saying? When they see us trying to come together and better ourselves, and they still have a problem with that. Our people that don't understand this is that's the last thing they want to see us do, is come together as a people and act like we got some sense. All the world's nations know who we are. That's why we get hated like we do, because we're Yah's chosen people. The people with the most intelligence out of all people on this earth combined, because we're Yah's chosen people. And he's put something in us. And the nations, that thing is to divide us. Psalm 83, family, it has everything to do with race, who we are, who we belong to. Our religion, yes. Religion says in the book of James, if a man has religion, let him show it by assisting widows with fatherless children. All that is a part of who Yazarel is. It has everything to do with why they treat us the way they do. It's because of who we are. We are Yazarel. And these Asian people and the people that do these things against our people, they trying to appeal to Esau. They're trying to appeal to the people who allowed them to come to this nation. They train them in immigration, y'all. They train them in immigration to hate the American Negro. Why they going through that process, through those few years that it takes for them to become a citizen? This is what they teach them. Why come it got to take years for people to go through immigration to enter a country? They're trying to train them. They're trying to train their minds. You gotta hate these niggas. Don't be friends to them. They're all lazy. They gangsters. They can't be trusted. They don't like to work. And all the stuff that they are guilty of, they say we are the people. You know what I'm saying? With these negative attributes. They came and got us. Well, we was already here. They came over here on our lands. The Spaniards came first. And then word got around to the European nations. Columbus came with his cronies first on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. But after, they saw all the blessed land over here on Turtle Island, in the Caribbean Islands, the Virgin Islands, oh, word, they went back. They sent some back. And then they came back with dogs. Spaniards came back with dogs. It's in the Book of Mormon. They came with about 150 wild dogs. You know what I'm saying? But our people, Israel, Yazarel that was here, the 10 tribes, they welcomed them. They welcomed, but they knew that the only way those people from the nations were able to come over here was because they had messed up with our Father Yah. Our people knew that, but still, we are a peaceful people. When we meet people, we want to be peaceful and friendly toward them. That's because we have the seed, the DNA of Yah in us. But they was coming over here, they tried to act like they was friendly first, them Spaniards. But when they sent a couple of the ships back, and they came back with more ships and more Spaniards and wild dogs, and they dropped the hammer then, boy. They dropped the hammer on the Israelites that was over here. Sicking the wild dogs on them. A lot of our people died from the diseases that they brought here. You know what I'm saying? North America, South America, Central America, Virgin Islands, and the Caribbean Islands. They know who our people were. And they try to, they ship some from South America up to North America, some from North America back to South America. It wasn't all our people coming from no Africa. Our people was already here. I just watched the video a couple of days ago. I should have got a little clip of it, but y'all already know this, family. That they found some bones down there in the southern states, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and they tested the DNA and stuff like that. And they said that those skeletal remains of those people were here at least 1,000 years before Columbus even landed in the Caribbean islands. 1,000 years, and then they said the DNA matched up exactly with African Americans. See, our people was already here. And the nations try to keep that hidden. The 10 tribes were never lost. We were hidden. We were hidden by the nations. They took everything from us. Everything from us. And so, and the band plays on. So it goes on. This is why, when America allowed the nations to come over here with the Nationalization Immigration Act of 1965, they trained all those foreigners from all around the world went through immigration over here. You gotta stay clear of these niggas. Don't befriend them. You know what I'm saying? And most people that they taught those things, still hanging true to it. They're still hanging true to it. And you see our 14-year-old kid getting killed in South Carolina because they thought he stole a bottle of water. Chased him 150 yards, shot him in the back. He go to court, to their courts. So he's doing these things because this is what he was taught in immigration. You know what I'm saying? He know that these people that allowed him to come over here to this country are on his side. So he's not too worried about when he go to court. He just know he just got to say something that sound kind of halfway makes sense. Well, my son thought he had a gun. That's all he needed to say when he got into the judicial system. All white jury, okay, well, not guilty of murder. But the child is dead. I'm like, man. Just like what happened to Trayvon Martin down in Florida, back, over 10 years ago? I'm like, man, I love man, y'all. I'm saying, man, hey, if that had happened to one of my sons, I'd have been doing life in prison right now. And I ain't telling nobody to go out there and do nothing wrong. I'm just saying, like what happened to that boy in South Carolina, if that was my son, I'm already preparing in my mind, I'm finna get ready to do some time. Cause I'm gonna do some street justice. You know what I'm saying, man? Hey, for real, man, all that old soft crap, no, man. No, we gotta play the same kind of music they playing with us. You dig? You know, we gotta send a message. We can't, you know, boycotting their businesses, you know, that would be the thing to do. I was shopping no Asian stores, no way. They ain't got nothing I want. Them Indian stores, all these people that hate us. Man, I walk past them, you know what I'm saying? I know who I am. So I know I'm walking past my enemies. There ain't no love in their eyes, ain't none in mine either. Cause I don't need them, none of them. They don't pay my bills. Shit, they don't put food on my table, in my refrigerator, in my cabinets. Nah, I don't need them for nothing. Nothing. Now, we ain't gotta be cool. Since that's the way they planned it. You know what I'm saying? Let's boycott their businesses, family. Let's do that. Nationwide. All these groups with their businesses. I don't go in none of their stores, no way, because I know who they are. They are enemies. You got maybe one or two, a handful, might smile, you know what I'm saying? All of them ain't full of the devil, but most of them are. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm gonna kind of end this right here, family. But y'all still stay tuned, you know, for that message I put in the communities, you know, about the pagan rich leaders with their pagan doctrines will soon be destroyed. Y'all stay tuned for that coming up on the 7th. But I'm finna post this right now. Okay, so y'all stay up, family. One love and shalom.